Welcome back to Brokers of Secrets. We're here with a very special guest. We have a theme here. We like to bring people who are really accomplished in their field, really good at what they do. We look for ways to provide a new, what we may call a construct. Now, if you have been watching our show, you'll see what I mean by that. But before I even get into anything, I would love for Michael Hunter, to share with us his impressive background. And please don't be humble. This is like something I always ask our guests, to just be completely open with what you're proud of, what you've done that are really impressive, and let the audience get to know you a little bit, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to start maybe where I got started in entrepreneurship. I got started at 17 years old in direct sales, got introduced to books that changed my life. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Got introduced to public speakers. And I heard that if you were a public speaker, that was actually the highest paid profession in the world, and that most people would rather die than speak on stage. In my little 17-year-old brain, I was like, opportunity, right? Like, wait, all I have to do is figure that out, and the keys of the universe will drop upon me. And so literally for the last 19 years, I've been cracking the code on those keys. And I started a marketing agency working with authors, speakers, coaches, thought leaders, personal brands, worked my way to the top of that industry, started a software company. I guess the
name
agency,
drop for us, please.
Yeah. I would, most notably, I was Brendan Burchard's CMO for 2 full years between 2015 and 2017. We were doing
those were his glory days.
Yeah, exactly.
When you were there,
I can't take credit for all of his success. He was massively successful.
I mean, he's still a legendary.
Yeah, but we did 7-figure launches for Pete Vargas, for Jim Quick, for Harvey McKay, and countless others, and we got known for generating outsized results for our clients, specifically for doing mobile optimized checkout processes back in 2013 and 14. And that was right when e-commerce started going to mobile phones. And so we took our productized service, developed a software product out of it called Spiffy Checkouts, and we bootstrapped a fintech company for the last 10 years to an 8-figure valuation. So between our agency at personalbrand.com and our software company, Spiffy Checkouts, I have a team of 16 people, and I've been an entrepreneur for the last 19 years in the trenches, getting results for people, building campaigns, building teams. And now for the last year, I've been turning my skill sets on myself, and I've had to navigate some interesting friction in my own life to go from the ninja behind the scenes, pulling all of the results for clients, to actually using my skills for myself. And so that's a brief overview or landscape of kind of my background. We've generated over $44 million worth of results specifically from campaigns that I've personally built, strategized, implemented. And then our payments company, Spiffy, we integrate with Stripe and PayPal, but we're the software on top of that. We've generated over $1 billion worth of payment volume through our platform. People like Amy Porterfield, Jay Shetty, Matthew Hussey, Darren Hardy, Jefferson Fisher all use our platform, Spiffy Checkouts, to drive results for their business. So we sit at the intersection of a lot of impact. Our clients are change makers, world changers, both on the Spiffy side and on the personal brand side. So we sit at that intersection.
That's awesome. So I'm curious, knowing how much you've accomplished, and I can already sense your trajectory of where you're heading, right? Armed with all of this knowledge and skill and what you've built for not just anybody, but these are some of the top, public speakers that you're talking about. What could possibly be, are there even any obstacles for you?
I wish there weren't. Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing too, and really speaking to someone listening that has done all of the things, like you've read all of the books, you've been to all the seminars, and you're not quite where you're at. Like that was me, is me to this day of, I've been in entrepreneurship. I've put my butt in a personal development space and a business conference every 6 weeks for the last 19 years on average. I've consumed all of the books. And so, there was definitely a 4-year period of a plateau that I broke through about maybe 2 years ago. And now I'm starting to feel a little bit more of that plateau. I think there's,
So you're feeling plateau again? Is that what you're saying?
I've right now, let me go back 6 years ago, I broke under the pressure of 1/10 of what's on my plate today. And so I'm able to handle way more today. And I know there's still another gear to shift. And I think that's part of one of the messages that I want to be known for sharing is there's always a next level. There's always another gear to shift to ultimately reach your highest potential in this life. And so I'm constantly looking for those next gears to shift. And that's why I'm so excited about this conversation today.
Oh, that's awesome. And thanks for being so open and coming here too. We always do things with love and respect. We love to find the boundary of our current map or construct, right? And when you look at the boundary of a construct, because no one really experiences reality, it's always a construct of reality. Mm-hmm. So the change doesn't need to happen outside, it's always inside the construct. So when you change that, which we're in full control of, you shift to the next gear. So I'm curious, what does the next gear look like for you?
I think the next gear looks like going from working really, really hard to finding the higher levers to pull to get the same or better results with less effort. I was just at a conference last week, and something the speaker said hit me like a ton of bricks. And they said something to the effect of, there's no extra credit for making it harder than it needs to be. And I believe there is some aspect of how I operate where I believe that if it's worthy, it must be hard. If it's going to be successful, it needs to be challenging. And I'm at a stage of my life where 19 years as an entrepreneur, I don't have I'm not where I want to be financially. And I'm not driven by material possessions, but there's things that I believe that I should have by now, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, like, no one's driven by water or air until you don't have it.
Right.
Right. So having an abundance of it is good. Like, you don't see majority of the population having water or air storage, right? But if they've experienced something in the past where it causes them to be like, well, I should probably prepare for water shortage or whatever, then they start to store up. It's kind of like money. A lot of times people earn or create or collect a outsized amount of money. Whether some would say, hey, there's trauma or there's tremendous desire or that they want to make the world a better place. Whatever the reason is stronger than staying put, right? So I'm curious, what would the reason be for you to even shift into the next gear, to have more?
Everything that we do at personalbrand.com is out of mission, service, and impact. Uh-huh. And I know that cracking the code around creating more income, more revenue is just going to fuel the mission. And so, figuring out the gear to shift will directly allow us to serve more people. And that's really what drives me. But I don't know if I answered your question there or not.
Yeah, I noticed the but at the end. So I'm curious if there's a way for you to create that same impact and impacting more people, same quality, but there wasn't an increase of money, would that be enough? I'll take that as a no.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So there's another reason for the money, right? Because I want to stack reasons. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with having more. I'm not one to judge or not judge. If you're like, hey, I want to buy 1,000 jet skis. Like, for whatever reason you want more money, like, I don't care, right? I'm just curious. Okay, so point A is here. Point B is more impact and more money. But the impact alone is not strong enough to create more money right now. Otherwise, you would have done it.
Right.
So what else do we need to make as reasons to do it? Because we're going to explore what are the reasons to not do it. Because that's keeping the current results.
Right. I think I have awareness around how I would describe of like what's keeping my foot on the brake more so than what's that.
Tell me.
And in my opinion, perspective is one of the most valuable things in business and life. And I think right now my perspective is at a place where I almost know too much, meaning I've been behind the scenes of massive brands, massive businesses, people are having an impact. And none of the names that I mentioned on the podcast fit this profile, but I've seen people that are one way on stage and someone else off stage. I don't want it to be possible to be perceived as that. Does that make sense?
Wow,
like where
like two-faced,
or just like be somebody that on the outside has the success, but their family hates them, or and so there's something tied around
Misalignment.
Yeah, misalignment, being something that you're not.
The show personality versus the real.
Yeah, and I think to some degree, especially just knowing, the social media game, like you have to kind of play the game. And so there's this is, I think, the gear that I need to shift is like, how do you play the game while
Being
keeping
authentic
alignment and being authentic and not, yeah.
Okay. So if you were to know how, would that be enough for you to go for and collect the money?
Know how to do what?
Totally align and authentic and be perceived congruently inside personal life, inside business, or outward, whatever the outward is.
Yeah, I believe so.
100%, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. So what I'm hearing is, and you can correct me if I'm not being accurate, if your authenticity and your alignment were on point, money would come naturally. Right now, you're only gating the money from yourself because you don't want the negative consequences of being perceived one way or another. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Man, we're done. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. So let's say you were to be able to remove whatever that's preventing you from having that complete authenticity and alignment. How quickly would the money flow into your life? Just a gut feeling. Not expecting you to predict reality.
Yeah, pretty fast.
Pretty fast, right? Like days or minutes or weeks? Probably hours?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. What's your gut feeling? Not expecting a promise.
I mean, I think this is part of unraveling my belief around making money. We make a lot of money. And I believe I have a relationship to money that's different than a lot of people. Like for personalbrand.com, like our services start at $50,000. I have no problem hanging in the pocket, commanding a higher rate. I also know there's other brand agencies that are charging $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 for various services.
Monthly, weekly, annually.
Projects, yeah.
Oh, per project.
Yeah,
Got
per
it.
project. So I think there's something around the belief that to make a lot of money, it needs to be hard.
Oh, so that would go first.
Probably, yeah.
So if that were to be gone, what happens?
Making money is easy.
Okay. Is it? Like, if that were to be gone, it would be easy? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking. So if that were to be gone, so can you describe back to me what needs to be gone? Like in your own words, just to make sure I got it.
The belief that making more money or charging a lot of money needs to be difficult.
So even though you command that and that is what you guys deserve, sometimes the unconscious pattern is to create difficulty or make it not easy, right?
Yeah, or just, I think one of my pieces of awareness is like, sometimes I care about other people's money more than they care about it. And that impacts my ability to make money.
And what would that do for you? Like, how would that make you feel when you care about that in a way that they noticed?
I believe that is one of the reasons why we are able to generate the clients and the revenue that we're able to generate, because I communicate that care in the sales process.
And so they notice and they feel that it's beyond just money, so they want to work with you.
Yes. And I believe that because I'm in the sales process, there's also people that we can help that possibly I'm causing more friction in the sales process than necessary. Because I care about their money and their well-being more than the income coming in.
How many % of the time would you say you sabotage the sale because you care about it? Don't think about it. What's the number that comes to mind?
25% of the time. Our agency, we work with 25 clients a year. We're not looking to scale the agency. It's not a numbers. The sales process is very much a disqualification process. And I feel like there's a margin in there that if I was not in the sales process, based off of my experience,
Increase
my discernment,
25%.
I believe that there is an opportunity there to close more deals than we're currently closing.
So it sounds like you literally found the thing that would get you more money more effortlessly in very little time by reducing your part in creating certain, call it resistance or whatever. I know you care about them.
Right.
But But when you really care about them, you want them to work with you, right?
Yeah.
So I know money is important to care about for someone else. And, you know, I know plenty of wonderful people that really care about other people that don't want to take other people's money unless they're, you know, they even create obstacles for people to give them money. But what I have found is, I think you're noticing this right now. If they don't get to work with you, they don't get to succeed as much. Therefore, they get less money, right?
Yeah.
So that would be an authentic thing to do to help them realize in the short term, they may be spending more money, but proportionately, that's not going to be a problem.
Yeah. And I think I've had a couple edge case scenarios that have jaded my view.
Tell me more.
I've had people that are more than acquaintances in my life come to our workshops, and they've wanted to engage in some of our lower price point offers, but I also know them pretty well. You know, one person that I won't name was like literally closing their gym, brick and mortar business. Money was tight, didn't know where their next paycheck was coming from. And I had coffee with him and I sat him down and I was just like sketched out a quick game plan. Like, hey man, like you don't need to buy our offer. You just need to execute what we did at the workshop.
Did they
and here's your game
execute?
plan. Well, the thing is that 2 weeks later, they went and spent 4 times more than our offer with somebody else. Even though I know that it's a bad financial decision, they went somewhere else. Another instance happened where, again, it's somebody who was living off of savings, invite them to come out to our workshop. I know they're in a tight financial situation. We discount our workshop. They don't buy our offer, but then they go and spend twice as much money for the container, plus travel and airfare and everything to go somewhere else where ultimately that did not serve them. And then they come back to us to try to remedy the situation and we didn't get compensated. So there's these situations where I know too much about their financial situation and I'm making decisions for them. But then they're also going out and making what I would consider objectively poor financial decisions, spending money with other people. And to your point, that money would have been way better spent with us, but I'm actually trying to do what's best for them. In the short term and the long term, shooting myself in the foot. Does that make sense?
So 3 questions. Question 1, did you believe full-heartedly that if they spend money with you, that you can get them more results?
More results than anyone else, yes.
Okay.
Do I believe that them spending money with us is their next best step? No. But more people would rather spend money chasing the illusion of success than actually doing the work required to be successful. And that's where I get tripped up. It's like, I know that they just need to do the work, but then they scroll out and go spend money trying to, you know, chase the illusion of success. And maybe this is just the story that I've telling myself, but the pattern that I've recognized, and I'm open and willing and able to explore how I'm creating this pattern. But just over the 19 years of experience building technology, building services actually designed to help people, not just hype, not just marketing, not just facade, not just a high ticket close, actually creating transformation in people's lives. I've found most people would rather chase the shiny object than actually do the work to create real change.
I got you on this.
Yeah.
So this is what's preventing you, because you're equating money and spending money to chase the illusion, right? So if they spend money, they're chasing an illusion. Because you said it in a generalized statement.
Yeah, and I think that's part of where I'm over-indexing on creating a great product, creating a great experience, creating offers that actually get people results, and gatekeeping to ensure that if somebody buys our offer, that they're actually going to get a result. And that it is the next best thing, right? Versus just having something that's surface level, make money, but don't actually create, you know, change. And so it didn't resonate with that people spending money with us is chasing a facade. It's just been my experience
that people go spend money
elsewhere trying to chase the thing that they think is best. But,
I got you then. Yeah. Okay. So then the next question is, if they didn't spend money with you, because they don't understand what they need to do anyway, right? And you didn't take their money, because money equals attention oftentimes, not just the other way around, right? So if they don't spend money with you, they don't pay attention with you. Then they go look for something else they can lock in their attention to. as a solution, right?
Yep.
So that is a worse scenario than if they spend money with you. Significantly worse, right? So I'm curious, what would you say would happen if you were to... I'll give you a story real fast before I get into the question.
Yeah.
So I have a friend named John Matson. Have you met John or heard of him?
I haven't met him yet, but I know who he is, yeah.
So John told me when he signed up, I didn't expect this, but when he signed up, back then there was a training that was like 40 grand. And it was for him and his wife. And I didn't know this. After he paid me, he's like, I have 50 grand in the account and I paid you 40 of it. And I was like, why'd you do that? He's like, this is my last straw. I have to make it work. Now, imagine if I said, John, let me refund you, take your money back, go find something else cheaper. I suspect that we wouldn't have the conversation that we had this new year where he made over $50 million last year. Now, he would probably be really mad at me if he knew what was going to happen, which he does now know, right? But if we were to go back and me turn down his money and say, bro, just save your money, it's too high of a risk. Now, I'm not the one responsible for his risk or not. I properly disclose what the amount was. They make their own decision, right? But the problem becomes if I make the decision for them, I sort of have to bear the responsibility of the consequences. So in the sales cycle, I think if you don't make the decision for them, I think they make their own decision and they don't waste money, and then perhaps they get better results, right? I'm suspecting that there's an over empathy.
I think, yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because over empathy causes us sometimes to make decisions for other people. It also oftentimes, like you said, shooting oneself in the foot. Because the over empathy puts someone else's problem on your own plate. And then it blocks the transaction. So here's my next question then. Let's say you got rid of over empathy. It's just the right amount of empathy. And you know you deliver results. You know it's a better choice for people to hire you instead. What happens when someone who you do know their situation and that they're not that great financially, but they're like, hey, I need help, but they don't know how to identify what's good or not? What would you do in that scenario? Like, it's a similar scenario as what you've brought up before, right? But knowing now you no longer want to over empathize, what would you do differently? What if you could be liked and still get the money? You'd do it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be easy. So here's a big question then. How do you know when you're liked?
I mean, I think the most real answer is you don't.
So it's sort of an illusion, right? Interesting how you labeled the chasing an illusion earlier.
Yeah.
There's an illusion here.
Chasing the illusion of being liked. Everyone's friendly face to face, but like, is it just an act or is it actually reality?
So here's my read then. Because of your natural intelligence and your skills, you know making money is easy. But being liked is not always a target you can measure. It's almost like an illusion that you have to chase. But that's where the fun is. Because you're like, oh, it's a moving target. So there's a lot of adventure in that. Because you've gotten bored at being really good at making money and generating money for people. Is that? Yeah. Okay. So if you could have both, being liked and a way to measure being liked, on top of obviously money is easy to measure. If you could have both, do you think it'll be easier or not as easy as?
Yeah, it'd be way easier.
It would be way easier, right? So here's the next question then. How would you measure someone liking you or not? Let's turn it from an illusion, because if you have a moving target, it's impossible for you to take money because it's like, oh, what if they don't like me by not giving it or by giving it, right? So it makes it hard for you to take decisive action.
Yeah.
But let's say assuming everyone who interacts with you, they can't help but like you. They can't help but want to give you money. That's a great scenario, right?
Right.
How would you measure them liking you?
I think by wanting to do business with us. Like,
so the two can come together.
Yeah.
So I think we can take from, instead of making sure people like you by not taking their money, by over empathizing, now your mind's rewired to, if they give me money, they like me. And you can provide them greater service so they like you even more over time.
Yeah.
You can have both. Ah,
I like that.
yeah, that's easy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious then, what would happen now next? Let's say people really like you and the word spread even more. People are like, not only is he the most likable guy in the industry, he provides results and he charges what's reasonable and what's right, what's appropriate to deliver the kind of results you want. And he's transparent about, hey, look, I'm starting here. It's still the same cost, but there might be a longer time to get what you want out of it. If that's okay, right? People become aware of that. They appreciate that. So you already built this incredible reputation. So what happens when that gets even further and you collect more and people like you? Like, what's next? What would you, not saying that you would chase anything, but if there was something to chase after that, what would you chase?
What comes to me is just more impact, more freedom, more word of mouth, more referrals. We'd be able to command higher prices, grow our community, fill our events, get more notoriety, speak on more stages, just
So
help
growth
more people.
and freedom. And
Yeah.
okay, if that were to happen tomorrow, how would you prepare for it? Like, you don't have a week, it's just tomorrow. You wake up and phone's ringing like crazy. People are like, I just been thinking about working with you.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, like over the next week, 5 new clients closes, pay in full.
Yeah.
Awesome, right? And then it keeps going. People keep referring. What happens then?
I mean, just naturally, how our business model fits, there's other aspects of transformation that we want to create that requires capital. And so, having more clients, making more money would allow us to make more investments to then help more people and make even more money to then keep
So it's
keeping the flywheel
perpetuating
going. Yes.
more impact too.
Mhm.
So let's say you are able to do that times 50, times 100, right? Because that sounds like that growth will continue. You reach a point where you're like, the impact is so big. So many lives have changed, millions, if not tens or hundreds of millions or more. And because so much wonderful impact has happened and you've also accumulated so much wealth and you have wonderful relationships, people know you're genuine, aligned, authentic, all of the above. And let's say it's not tomorrow, maybe let's say it's like 5 years down the road, right? Something that you can absolutely fathom. Shouldn't take that long, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even sooner. What happens then? What are you going to do?
Part of my life's purpose is to spark and inspire entrepreneurship. So just playing it out to that level, it's like mentorship,
Giving back.
breathing life back into who I was. Back, I spent so much of my life seeking mentorship where, the person that had the business success didn't have the family success, or the person that had a great marriage but didn't have a family, or they had the business success but they're on their 3rd marriage and their kids hate them. There's all something that's missing. And so I've realized is that my path has been to become the person that I've been seeking this entire time, and hitting the level of success in what we're currently doing would allow me to do more of my true calling, which is mentorship and breathing life back into entrepreneurs and other men.
And you would create alignment in other people's lives.
Yes.
Because they're all areas of their life, not just one, would align and become the highest version, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here comes the probably the most important question. How would you feel when you're able to do that for other people in mass scale?
Incredible. Amazing.
Yeah.
Fulfilled. Happy.
That's the feeling. If we can take that feeling back to this moment in time and install it, where would you put it? What area of your body would you put it so it can drop right in and just gets installed?
Yeah, probably like right here.
What color would it be? If you keep your eyes closed for a moment, what color would it be so it can come right through and grow in the most magnificent way? What color would it be?
It's white. It's kind of like an absence of color, but
Love it. And
Yeah.
what's the size and shape right now before it grows bigger and integrates?
Hmm.
Can you see the size and shape? is it formless? There's got to be a form of some kind, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like a...
You can show me with your hands if you want.
It's kind of like a lotus flower or like a...
Wow.
I don't know, like a...
Incredible.
What's it called? Man, I'm spacing out.
I think I can imagine what you're talking about. And then what happens when it begins
artichoke.
to...
It's like an artichoke. That was the vegetable I was looking for.
Yeah, it can unfold in layers.
Yeah.
So let's say it unfolds and it grows and that feeling spreads throughout your entire body. Where would it go next? Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, all over.
All
Just
over.
like unfolds everywhere.
Beautiful. Let it integrate all the way. And as you breathe in, notice it comes online fully. It's blossoming, and you can smell the beautiful, magnificent scent. You could almost taste it. Perhaps you could. And it's this incredible vibration inside your body, right? Now, when that's fully installed, you can open your eyes. So, do you smell popcorn?
No.
Okay, so I'm curious, when you now have that feeling of your ultimate goal inside of you, and you're aligned, because in order to feel that feeling, you actually have to be fully aligned with that vision, right? Which clearly it tells me you are. I wonder what sort of change would naturally occur from this moment on, because you already know, because they say, people say, we don't do stuff to achieve a state. We get to the state and we naturally do the action that gives us all the physical results. So that inverted sequence is actually what works. I'm curious what happens now because you now have installed that state. What do you see happening next?
Yeah, just more magnetism, showing up more joyful and more service, less stress, more aligned.
Aligned.
Yeah.
There we go. Because weren't you the one that said once you're aligned, the money problem gets solved? Keep me posted. This was fun, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It didn't take long. You were prepared. That's what happened. You're very prepared. And I noticed you were ready to let this out. And then when we removed the old illusion, we installed the new actual concrete sensation and feeling of what you're actually seeking, which is the ability to impact authentically and in alignment, right?
Yeah.
That replacement is going to cause a ripple effect. So please keep me posted. I'm super excited for you guys to also witness what happens with Michael. And thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I
that was a
appreciate
good time.
the conversation, the questions, the probing. Definitely helped anchor the awareness I have. One of the things my wife says is that awareness itself does not equal transformation. And so I love how you are able to navigate the conversation and install the new construct.
Because the awareness alone is just a conscious awareness. It's like if you're aware that there's a new map that came out of your favorite city, being aware of it doesn't mean you got the map. And the map makes it nice because you don't have to work harder to navigate the city. You don't have to run into more roadblocks. You don't have to go to the wrong neighborhoods. You can look at the map without any other changes. You look at the map and it's like, oh, that's easy. I know exactly where the bank is. I'm going to go get paid. So, and meet some new friends, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So good having you.
Thank you.
And keep me posted because I'd love to hear again and for the audience to see you again to get an update.
Absolutely.
So thank you again.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.